Look at how fast these are going. You see that in the background? The plane behind me is going 400 kilometers an hour. These are RC model planes inspired by real planes. The prices range from 10 to 15,000 euros to 50,000 euros over here. I've traveled to an airstrip in Germany for Jet Power, one of the biggest RC events in the world. We're about to check out some of the biggest and most expensive RC jets ever made. We're talking up to $70,000. We'll be meeting the people who build these exact fighter jet replicas from scratch and see them shoot into the sky at speeds of up 500 kilometers an hour. I started off by checking out the tent, where each plane is waiting to hit the runway. It's pretty shocking. This entire place is full of RC planes, helicopters. This is literally an F-16, and they decorated, hand-painted everything. The wingspan on this is about 2.37 meters. This goes for just under 16,000 euros. Take a look at the inside. You'll notice how much detail goes into. So you see the control panel, you have all of the wiring and the fuel injection. And this one's 23,000 euros right there. 23,000. You have to be doing pretty well to get into this hobby. Take a look. They got passengers in the back. You can see, yeah, just the propulsion system is nuts. You have these huge exhaust pipes. I mean, this is almost the size of a normal exhaust pipe that you'd have on, like, I don't know, maybe a bike or something. You can see all the little individual components. You don't even think about it. You just see a huge helicopter and you forget that there's all these little micro pieces in there. Like, this is just the door handles, antennas and seats. Yeah, that's crazy. Look at the inside. All the little lights. I mean, you can see why it's so expensive, right? I mean, if you have like 1 billion pieces. After touring the tent, it was time to head outside to see these massive RC jets up close and experience what they can actually do. The thrusters on these jets are so hot, they can even double as a hot dog griller. Starting with the F-4 Phantom, a legendary fighter jet developed by McDonnell Aircraft for the US Navy in the late 1950s. A huge total of 5,195 F-4 Phantom fighter jets were manufactured between 1958 and 1981, making it the most produced American fighter jet in history. With its top speed of 2,370 kilometers an hour, in countries like Iran, Greece, and Turkey, it's still in service as of 2024. That's 63 years after it was first developed. We're checking out exact scale replicas of the F-4 Phantom, both in long and short nose versions. These were built by Team Carve, who are one of the best RC jet designers and builders in the world. This latest one they've built has taken the attention to detail and mechanics to a whole new level, and I'm about to show you why. Alright, look at this. So the canopy opens up, but look at the detail when you go inside. The jacket is made of real fabric. You have all these little buttons and gauges and dials, and there's so much detail in this. Look at the gas mask. It even has the straps that you can pull right there. Now, underneath the nose, you actually have a hydraulic lift system for when it's taking off so that the nose is up and it can just speed up into the air, which is super cool. On the side, you have the slats at the front, and then you have the flaps in the back. Now, don't forget, this right here is a $50,000 RC jet, and it's a 1 to 4.5 scale replica model. It's an F-4 Phantom. Now, the jets over here, that's the thrusters. That's how you see where everything comes out, and it has this LED system right there just to represent fire. But if you were to put your hand here when it's actually on, you would burn your hand. I mean, that fire might look fake, but it has real freaking fire coming out when it's actually up in the air. All right, in the back, you have the rudders. Same thing to control the direction, pitch and roll. And this thing that looks like a little smiley face in the back, that's actually for the parachute. So this can actually close and open. When it lands, it opens up, releases a parachute, and lets the entire vehicle slow down. Now, underneath it right there, you have a little hook. Now, this is in the, imaginary situation where this would have to land on a carrier, like in the ocean. That's what actually attaches and clips onto the ropes, lets it slow down. It's even the lights right there. It has this design of, kind of like being bolted on, but the light itself actually works. You also have the lights on the wings. This side is green, that side's red. And now I'm gonna lift this so you can see, the landing gear. You ready? Look at that. Let's have it pop back out. The whole jet is 55 kilos, and it can withstand 4 Gs. All right. And just for you guys to have an idea, take a look under the nose. There's this little trigger right here. All right. If I pull it, I can just rotate the nose off. These are the batteries, the electronics. You can see through the entire jet. It's hollow, but for you to understand how lightweight this is, look at that. This must weigh like less than 100 grams. And this right here is the first prototype. Next to it, you have the long nose version. So same thing, long nose, bigger. It's fine. And again, what I love is this one has a little clipboard with all the information. It's just cool, different design helmets going on. And then the emergency seat, if you pull this, that's the parachute. It's just literally the closest thing possible to the real thing, scaled down 1 to 4.5. Oh, then how? Here it is. Now, who made all this possible? Well, next to us, we have Andres. He's the owner of Carf Models. Now, how long does it take to develop something like this? Well, this airplane, the development was about 3 years, starting from the CAT drawings, then we're making molds and everything. Okay, and then it's like the finished airplane is like a 4 to 5 months job to actually build the aircraft. It's about $50,000 that aircraft, and we put it on a runway and we throttle up and we wave goodbye to $50,000. And when he comes back, we greet it and we have the $50,000 back in the book. It's a head temporary loss. Yeah, I got it. All right, let's see what the Phantom can do. Powered by twin turbine engines, this RC jet isn't just for show. It delivers real jet performance, roaring down the runway with incredible speed. Watching it take off, you can almost imagine the full-scale Phantom soaring into combat. Seeing these RC jets flying at full speed is crazy, to be honest. It's really something. They might not be the same size as the real thing, but they work just like the real versions, with real thrusters, turbines, and jet fuel. Due to its complexity, size, and the use of turbine engines, this RC jet is aimed at experienced pilots. Flying and maintaining a jet of this caliber requires significant skill and knowledge in turbine RC operations. I think there. All that. Oh, yeah. Feel that? All right. Feel that. Yep. All the parachute, the parachute. Get the second one. Look, the second one's landing. I wave goodbye to the F-4 Phantom as I head over to the next RC fighter jet we're checking out today, the F-104 Starfighter. Developed by Lockheed Martin in 1954, the F-104 Starfighter was notoriously hard to fly because of its small wings. In the 1960s, many countries used these fighter jets in combat, including the US during the Cold War. With its top speed of 2,717 kilometers an hour, it was an instant icon, with a total of 2,578 built until it was officially retired by the last air forces in the early 2000s. That's almost 50 years of service. This scale replica of the F-104 is the longest RC jet of the entire event, measuring in at 6 meters. It's longer than most cars. All right, look at this. So, this one right here is the F-104 Starfighter, and it is the longest plane that we've seen today. It's almost 6 meters, but what's interesting about this one is that it also has the shortest wingspan. They made a replica of the original, and this is what the original looked like. This piece right here looks like a needle just to stab you. That's actually to give metrics to the system. So it'll measure your angle, your speed, all kinds of different metrics for the pilot. And what I like is the amount of detail going into the paint. So for example, you have all of this little text, the bolts, different colors. Look at the size difference. This is probably 2 times as long as that one over there. Now, look at this. This right here is designed obviously for high speeds. What it does is it kind of disperses the air being put into this, because if this was just hollow, I mean, maybe the amount of air going inside, which just make everything blow up. Now, the wings on the side, you'll see that the flaps at the back are moving. The entire thing looks like a thruster. I mean, it just looks like one piece going to the end. Look at the size of the back. I mean, that's the biggest that we've seen today too. Top piece moves too. And honestly, this has to be the biggest RC plane that I have ever seen in my life. Now, hiding inside of this piece is all the batteries and electronics. Look at that. Look at how much is going on. Look at all the wiring. They didn't want to talk too much about the price. It's about $60,000. And the top speed of this is around 380 kilometers an hour. Imagine seeing something this large going 380 kilometers an hour. It's powering up. You might be able to stand back a little bit. And when you see this fly, it looks like a missile, man. I mean, it's so long and it just has so much power. One behind it. Like a rocket with wings, seeing the 6-meter long F-104 flying was unbelievable. It just seemed so unreal that it was actually flying. Not only was it the biggest one we saw that day, it was also definitely the loudest. Maybe not the big part. It was time to head over to the most expensive RC jet we got to check out, an exact scale replica of an MB339 fighter jet. Manufactured by Italian aviation company Aermacchi in the late 1970s, with a top speed of 900 kilometers an hour and great maneuverability, the MB339 is the jet of choice for the Frecce Tricolori, the aerobatic team of the Italian Air Force. Only 230 were ever built, but some air forces still use them to this day. And although it's rarely been used in combat, it's often used to train fighter jet pilots. You wouldn't normally see these colors on a real MB339, but this RC model version is sponsored by Red Bull Aerobatics, and it looks incredible. Alright, check this out. Now this one is about $70,000, and look at this. On the side, you can slide this to the left, and then the canopy opens sideways like that. And these guys are pretty big inside. But look at the detail again with the gauges. Now, the way you turn it on, there's actually some lights right here. You have to press 2 different buttons. This goes on. Now, this plane is sponsored by Red Bull, but this is actually designed and run by a family-owned kind of business passion team right there. That's father and son. So it's a team of 3 people in total. And they spent 300 man-hours to build this by hand. Now, what's really cool is that there's this little light that comes up when the plane is landing. You also have the light up in the front, like that. And if you look through the canopy in the back, you can see the 2 turbines. There's also 4 fuel tanks. Each turbines are on $11,000. Right there, you have the rudders, which go side by side. And this can reach a speed of up to 370 kilometers an hour. As I watched the beautiful MB339 soaring in the skies, I was sad that this amazing day was coming to an end because honestly, it was unlike anything I've experienced. I can't believe we got to see some of the best and most expensive RC jets in the world in action. Let us know in the comments which one was your favorite, and don't forget to like and subscribe.